Hey guys, it's Glenn from G&P Custom Fabrications, and I'm starting this video from someplace I didn't know if I'd ever be, and that is standing underneath Sketchy. It's been a dream of mine for a long time to get a lift, just to make things a whole lot easier here in the shop, and the opportunity presented itself for me to get one, and here I am. There's been several things that I've considered game changers out here in the shop, like when I got the Arc Droid, and just different tools that my band saw, and just different things that just really allowed me to up my game and turn out a more professional product. And this lift is a big one. As I can see looking at my handiwork, I have to remind myself that I was laying on my back with it this far from my face, trying to weld, trying to drill, trying to put stuff together, and it looks like it. It looks like I was this far away from it working on it. I see a lot of welds that I knew I wasn't getting to until the mock-up stage was over. I've said this in previous videos that I considered this mock-up, even though I took it down the highway at 80 miles an hour, I still considered it in its mock-up stages, and I knew that eventually I would get to the point where I was going to blow it all apart, hit those welds that had never been hit, secure things that had just been left dangling, redo fuel lines, brake lines, all kinds of things that I did just good enough to kind of do the whole proof of concept thing. And now here I am, my lift in my shop, being able to see all the good and the bad and the ugly. I've got a lot of welding to do. I got fish plate over some areas I'm going to do. I'm going to replace a lot of the suspension. What came with Sketchy, whenever, I shouldn't even call it Sketchy, whenever I got the frame and body from a guy, it came with some Speedway suspension parts. It wasn't nowhere near Sketchy yet. It was basically just this box tubing frame and four-door body. If you watch, I got a video kind of walk through all this. I'll try to remember to leave a link to it up above. That kind of goes through the early process. It was all just photos back then. I wasn't doing my YouTube yet, so I didn't shoot any videos of it early on. It came with Speedway suspension parts, which weren't bad, you know, for what they were. But now I've got some much heavier stuff, some Helms joints type suspension links, and I'm gonna go back and redo a bunch of stuff a lot heavier than what it was. I got some variations in dimensions I got to sort out. For some reason things in the back weren't square. I'm still not sure why, but now that I'm in a good position, I can measure diagonally and recheck some things that way, try to figure out where I was off at. So definitely having a lift is going to make that a whole lot easier. Things like this Hydro Boost for the brake and the steering box and all this, I can see now. I put this here to protect that brake pedal linkage right there, because you know that'd be a bad day high center on that. Of course, by doing this, I reduced my area of protection down. So I'm looking at redoing this, get it up closer, but at the same time still able to protect that linkage. These lines, these hard lines, either I'm going to go back in and redo them hard line now that I can see everything good and get to everything, and do a better job on them, or there's a John Deere dealership across the highway from us, and I may have some hydraulic lines made with proper fitting ends and all that. Kind of what I'm really looking at doing, I don't know yet. Just looking at all this work that I had done, mind you, with the transmission in, or the engine transmission was in place. I was trying to work through this little hole right here, trying to get this stuff all right, and it wasn't ideal. So now this is giving me the perfect opportunity. No excuses. I can get to everything now. I can see that needs welded, that needs welded. I can see this all needs clean. There's pinholes throughout my trans tunnel for where I was welding stuff together. I can go through and clean that up. Uneven edges, I can trim it back, get it welded, get this all cleaned up better. Some kind of sound deadener, heat resistant stuff up in there. Right here's a gap, here's a gap, here's a gap. It'll all be closed in now that I can see them and I can get to them now. Yeah, so this, I was thinking, my last video, I was already thinking to the next video, and this wasn't going to be it. My next video was going to be where I show you the 4-link system that I came up with. I ended up going triangulated. I'll show you that here in a minute. I've got some other changes. I got a different rear end I'm going to be putting in here. This one is, I don't know, it's a Dana 70 HD 410 or 411 gears in it. It's got an open diff in it right now. Drum brakes, which I had recently rebuilt. But I went from when I first got it, it was welded posi, and that was horrible. It was a nightmare to drive. It did good burnouts, as you can see in this video, but it wasn't good for just the drivability. Was horrible, and I want Sketchy to be a driving machine. I want it to be fun to drive. I wanted to limit slip rear end. I was kind of all over the place trying to figure out what I wanted. It was going to take like $600 to get a drop-in unit for this rear end. I thought about going that route, but then I came across on Marketplace a rear end of a 2008 Dodge 2500. It's got 373 gears in it. It's got a, and I'll say this wrong, I'll try to put it down here. I'm going to say torches and limited slip rear end. I don't remember how you pronounce it anyway. This is what it is. And I did some research, and those are good rear ends for doing burnouts. They're good for drifting or whatever, but they're good solid rear ends. And there'll be disc brakes, which give me good parking brake ability along with that. And the downside of it is I have to redo my back wheels. I'll have to get some 17-inch or bigger wheels for the back. That's kind of a bummer because I made these wheels myself. Another video up here if you want to see how I did that. But it is what it is. It's, in order to clear the disc brake calipers, I have to run 17s or bigger. My plan today was to get a hold of local junkyard, see if they had anything. Just a pair is all I need. I've been looking on Marketplace. All I've been seeing on 17-inch Dodge wheels are stock takeoffs, which I may get a pair of those just for the time being, just to be able to roll it around, but I'm a long ways from that. I think I'm going to probably maybe start in the front and hit all the welds that I need, that I can see at this point need to be done. This is a battery mount. I'm going to go in and clean it up. I was originally going to go ahead and move the battery from here because this sits right next to the engine block, but now that I move the seat back, I don't have room for it back there. Unless I go with a expensive little tiny battery, this is where it's going to live. We'll see. I might, right now I'm using this big Super Start battery. I might be able to get by with something smaller, but it's still going to be in the same spot. So I mean, it works where it's at. My motor mounts, I'll back up a little bit. Since I am doing since I am going to go ahead and run factory motor mounts on the engine, I got the top parts mounted, the rubber part, all on the block. But as far as how they're gonna set onto the frame, I don't have yet. I won't know that probably until I get the motor set down on top of it, and I start welding stuff together. But so these are going to go away, and then I'll see, which they weren't even anyway. I don't think one of them set up further than the other. I don't remember right now. But well, these holes here actually went to a plate that I had that were bolted to the front of the motor mount, so they might still land somewhere in this area. And I don't know how that's going to work yet because of the power steering sitting right there. So it's still a lot to learn. I just know going forward that I'm doing this all 100% to the best of my ability now. I don't want to say I half-assed things before, but it was a learning curve. I was learning new skills as I was doing stuff. Like the wiring. Wiring's been changed on a couple times. I did it 3 times on Rat Dooley before I come up with something I was really happy with. And then I was able to transform this one to something I was really happy with. It's going to get redone, but not because there's anything wrong with it other than the fact that I'm going to go through and clean up a bunch of stuff, and the wiring is going to be a big part of that. I look here and I see 2 wires twisted together that's poking out right here that I'm sure grounded out at some point and probably caused problems. I can see the electrical tape that was protecting it is left the chat. So yeah, things like that I'm discovering that's going to get taken care of. I see a lot of welds from this side that I welded the crap out of the other side to make sure that it held, but now I can get to this side of it and make sure it's good. I see all through here needs welded, this needs welded, this under here needs to be welded. I'll have to take all this apart, get back in there, weld all that. Yeah, a lot of things like that I'm looking at now. And okay, kind of bring you up to speed on what I did since the last video. And I promise in upcoming videos I'll have footage of me actually working on it. But I just wanted to do another update with showing you the lift and what I've gotten done since then. And this package tray area, as it would be called, you can see this is a piece I cut off of it after I moved the frame back. You can see that much difference in you can see that as added leg room. And kind of a unintentional thing that happened is you can see how this is a speed limit sign, and I cut the limit off of it, and now it's just a speed sign. So I thought that was kind of humorous. But you can see, I pull this back, this out of the way. You can see the triangulated 4-link that I came up with, and right now it's welded onto the axle that I'm not going to be using. I just kind of, to mock it up, I'll be cutting it off and then welding it onto the other one when I get it in place. But this is just because it's what I had when I was setting it up. I didn't have the other rear end yet. But since I'm not, this isn't a rock crawler, it's just a street car. I didn't need a lot of articulation, but I ran it up down a little bit, and everything worked fine. Because it's triangulated, I won't need a track bar link, which is what this is left over from, is the track bar that was in here. So that will make that nice. And yeah, whenever I came in here, I did my fish plate and my link here kind of together. And so that's all welded solid. I'll go back to the back side, weld that up, and I put this top piece in. It's just welded in, tacked in to locate my seat back. And then I built this lower frame part, and which I need to notch out and reshape it once I get the other rear end in place, so I know just how much I need. I do plan on replacing the 4 motorcycle shocks I have with just 2 regular coilover shocks. I just haven't found the right ones yet. This is where we're at. Yeah, I shot a lot of video earlier and then find out that my microphones wasn't working, so I don't remember what I had said before. Hopefully I'm not repeating myself. but I will give you an update on things that have transpired since I recorded that last bit that I know you didn't know yet. Okay, here's Sketchy's engine, the 440. I got aluminum Chinese heads on it, Speedmaster. They're Speedmaster heads. I'm not doing anything to clean them up and polish them out yet. I may do that in the future. Right now I'm just trying to get it running, and I've ran into some issues I'm not happy about because on the manufacturer's website they list two different sets of heads. They have the flat tappet heads and the hydraulic or the roller. Yeah, the flat tappet and the roller heads. These of course are flat tappet because that's what I'm running. In the description down below it didn't say anything about needing offset rockers. Now once I did my research and went back to the roller rocker or the roller tappet heads, they did mention I needed offset. Well, I didn't order offset because I didn't think I needed them, and so these are wrong. I do have some new ones ordered off of eBay because Speedmaster no longer has any in stock, so these are coming off. Number two issue are the push rods, because they got the ball on the bottom of the rocker. You have to have the cup type, so it's ball and cup 5/16. Okay, this is 5/16 here, so I was having to find the right length of push rod, and I didn't have an adjustable push rod, which I know now. I've got one ordered, and I was going off of the old push rod and trying to just eyeball it and calculate and all that, and I was way off. So these are wrong because they don't have the oiler hole in it, something else I wasn't aware of at the time. So yeah, these are going back to Summit. Thank you, Summit, for taking them back. I get them cleaned up. I'll give them right back in the mail to you. So now I'm fighting with getting the right length and the right diameter, because I'm finding some that were the right length that I think is the right length. So I went back to Summit. Well, I can't find anything in the right length that is the oil through, that has the oil port in it, and so I'm struggling there. And then it all gets back to you get what you pay for. Speedway, yeah, they have a reputation for being cheap, and you know, their lack of dedication to information, I guess, which is crazy, because you can go on their website and if you look up the 440 flat tappet aluminum head and the roller heads, they look identical. They're price wise, there's not that much difference, and I don't know, you know, if any difference there are in the actual head. But I do know that when you scroll down the page, the bottom section for the roller tappet has a whole lot more information that the other one doesn't have. And I'm gonna have to, going forward, I don't know, hopefully I'll get some information, some better information from Speedmaster. Otherwise I'll just have to assume that a lot of the information that I'm seeing on the roller tappet heads apply to the flat tappet heads. I don't know. I would think the difference might be spring weights in the heads, which I've got a set of springs for this that are heavier than these. I'm going to use these to break in the cam with, and then switch over to the other ones once it's broke in. And so yeah, that's what I've been fighting with lately, or last few days, just driving myself insane because I can't find the information. I can't. Speedmaster's website is frustrating. Trying to find the right size push rods has been frustrating, and it didn't help the fact that I screwed up and measured wrong and made assumptions that clearly wasn't right. But so I'm learning a lot there. So these have to go back to Speedmaster. Hopefully they'll take them. I don't have the original packaging anymore because I burned them, because I, you know, was cleaning up my shop and it was in the way, and I just assumed at that time everything was good and wasn't no problem. So hopefully they'll take them back. Otherwise they'll be on Marketplace for sale. Push rods, Summit will be taking those back. I already got a return slip for them. I just need to clean them. I put assembly lube on them because I was dropping them in there. And so I'm going to clean them off real good, put them back in the bags, send them back to them. And I'd almost screwed up. I guess I technically did screw up. I thought I found the right push rods I needed. Some oil through, cup and ball. And I got out here messing with the length and realized I had still made an assumption that I could use one length based off of what I was looking at, and I was still too long. So I jumped on the website, hopefully got those stopped before they get loaded in the truck, otherwise I'll be sending them right back. But I'm not an engine builder, and these are things they're going to have to, that I'll learn. I'm sure if I was building an LS or a small block Chevy, all the information's out there. And the big factor on these that threw me off, and well, for one thing, I wasn't running. I'd already committed to not running the factory rockers. They're stamped steel. I figured I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right. So I already committed to not doing those. Well, which is a good thing, because clearly those would not work within the confinements. With what the issue is this push rod comes up for the intake port. It's over too far this way, which is why these won't work. So you have to get a set that has an offset intake part, which this one looks like it would be offset, but apparently it's not offset enough. They even have ones that shows an offset of 0.10, and then they got a offset of 0.65. So by the looks of this one, it's the 6.5 I need. Didn't matter, they didn't have it in stock anyway. So anyway, I've got one for about the same price, ordered off a guy has on eBay. It's ordered. I'm waiting now till I get it to double check the ball diameter on the bottom of it to see if it's 5/16 or 3/8, because that's another issue I've been having. Is I can find, it's like I have to have the right length oiler with the hollow where the oil can go through it, and I have to have the right length. And it's like I can get 2 of the 3, but I'm having a hard time getting all 3 and getting the perfect push rods. So I'm going to hold off. I'm going to get these push rods sent back. I'm going to get in the push rod measuring tool. Other than that, Sketchy's motor's ready to put back together. I got the bottom end all tied up. I was waiting on these gaskets to put the water pump on. They came in with these push rods, so I'll be able to put all that front part on. Working on braces. Which I don't think I had showed on this video. No, I didn't show on this video. On the video that didn't have sound, I had showed this, but I'm doing some brackets, something like that. This one's not right. I was having trouble with my Fusion 360 and my Arc Droid not communicating right. I figure out what went wrong there. Recut this one to it's right. Go back in CAD, fix it, print it out, and then I'll do some mounts on it and cut out a little thicker material. And then we'll see where we go. Then we'll go from there. But anyway, I'm going to get this video wrapped up, try to get it edited, get it uploaded before I do anything else. This is Glenn for G&P Custom Fabrications, living the dream till the freaking phone rings. Thanks for watching.